Hello, my fellow neighbor American people and fellow Canadian people, and especially, well, I gotta say it, I'm proud to be a guy from the Atlantic coast of Canada, Nova Scotia, best province in Canada. Yeah, I know every province, every territory. Anyway, yeah, so this is, yeah, I was just listening to YouTube, my favorite channel, one of my favorite channels on YouTube, to find out everything that's going on in the world, especially in the Trump world. And yeah, they were talking about, well, they continue to talk about how unhinged President Trump is. And to be honest with you, I have to agree. Okay, I'm sorry. It's not because I'm a Canadian and I hate Americans. That's, as you know from my other videos, I have nothing but respect for Americans. I don't want to be one. I like my I like my country. I love my country. I served in the military, as I mentioned before here, and hint hint, I would serve in the military again if they take me. Maybe not a foot soldier, but I was a sniper. Well, I shouldn't say I was a sniper, but I'm qualified. Let's just say to be pretty close to sniper level. Anyway, that's not a threat. That's kind of a joke, sort of. Let's put it this way. I know Americans are very proud to be American, and I know you love yourself some guns. Well, we here in Canada, we have guns too, and we like to go hunting and shooting and competition shooting and all that stuff. There's a lot more restrictions on the guns that we have, but we do carry them, and in case of emergency. Oh well, I won't say any more about that. I certainly don't want to get in trouble. But appealing to your American attitude about guns, and I can certainly understand your view, your point of view. I don't condone it necessarily about the right to own guns and to bear arms and all that, but hey, that's your business, not mine. You know, uh, I live in a different country and we have different rules. Anyway, that's enough about that. So yeah, so there's some talk about whether Canadians are taking the threat of annexation by your president, and I'm going to say by your president because I'm 99% sure that most of you American people, good people, see how ridiculous a move like that would be. But this has happened in the past many times, many centuries, you know, many dictators, as far back as recorded history. Uh, Countries have invaded other countries for different reasons. Resources seems to be the reason that I think Trump is making all these overtures, referring to annexing Canada. And as much as I love Americans, and I love your food, I love the, yeah, it's always unbelievable to me how much food you get at a restaurant for such a low price. And I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. I'm a diabetic and I'm a little bit overweight, so for me, it's probably a bad thing. But fair is fair. You guys know how to give good customer service. I've never had any problems with that. And man, you can get a magnificent meal in a fast food restaurant, or we call them greasy spoons. Family restaurants. Unbelievable, unbelievable. And the service is no matter, even in a basic greasy spoon, basic family restaurant. You guys treat us like we're kings, especially when you find out we're from Canada. I mean, I feel like a rock star sometimes when I go down there, and it's very pleasing. It's very pleasurable to have someone respect you, unlike your president and your vice president and every other dick that is working for your president. I can't believe the shit they say. Grown men, educated men, men with children who probably beat their kids if they said some of the things that they say, that they're, that they say, uh, your politicians about us. If their kids said that about their friends or their teachers or the guy down the street, they'd smack them. Well, maybe not smack them, but you know what I mean. They would be upset. You can't talk like that. You shouldn't be that way. You need to be a good neighbor. Hypocrites. Your politicians are insane. But I understand why they're doing what they're doing. I watched I can't remember, I follow this YouTuber. He's a psychiatrist, East Indian fellow. I'll get an URL to his page and put it down below to his YouTube channel. Brilliant man. He's interested as much in psychiatry as he is in politics. And so he's got a really good perspective on things. And although what I'm going to say to you is kind of directed at the mega group, but in general, people who follow blindly another person, the basis for that, the very base reason for that is insecurity. They look to someone bigger, greater than themselves, because they want to believe that they are more, the individual is more than they actually are. They feel insecure about themselves, about their lives, about their income. They want to, human beings have the need when you feel like that to sometimes blame others. And if you have a leader who's given you all these excuses that you can use to blame others, like immigrants who pick all your food for you, most of your food, a job you would not do. It's too labor intensive. We North Americans are too fat, too lazy to do jobs like that. We have immigrants come here, even in our province of Nova Scotia, Canada, and we welcome them. Our farmers welcome them. They pay them fairly well, not great, but fairly well. They're unskilled laborers. They don't cause any problem. There's no crime. There's no eating of cats and dogs and goats and chickens and any other animal you can think of. And they pay taxes. It helps our country, our finances. It helps to pay for some of the benefits that we as Canadian citizens get, like the health care that we have. Speaking of that, Canadian health care is not perfect. Let's face it, nothing that's run by the government is perfect. But I'm telling you now, it's better than the system you guys have down there. Since I was 40 years old, I've had four major operations. One that was estimated that would have cost me, a specialist surgeon had to come from the United States to teach the surgeons here in our province how to do the procedure. And I think they said it was estimated would cost something like $150,000 for one of those four operations. Okay? It saved my life. Didn't cost me a cent, not a penny. Oh, but your taxes are high and your taxes up there in Canada are high. Yes, they are higher than your taxes in the United States. If you, one-on-one, if you compare. But the money goes into our social programs. We don't have to think about it. We bitch about taxes. Everybody bitches about taxes. But it pays for that. I'm 67 years old. I live in a rent-controlled, through our province, apartment. I'm not going to tell you what I pay for my one-bedroom apartment that I'm in right now, but it's about half of what the average apartment cost. Okay. I get that because I'm a senior and because I work, you know, many years uh, in this country, and they take care of us. They respect us. They respect us, senior people here. I pay because of my income. It's not very high, but trust me, I'm doing okay. I live within my means. As you can see behind me, I've got computers and I got a computer in front of me, and I'm a Microsoft flight sim enthusiast, so I've got all kinds of that gear. And anyway, I got plenty. I got a motorcycle. I sold my car, didn't need it anymore. I take the bus when I need to get groceries and that in the wintertime, but from spring, summer, and fall, I've got my motorcycle. Okay. So because of my income, the level of my income, it's below what might be considered the poverty line. I don't think that way, but anyway, I'm not going to get into specifics of how much I get, but I get my Canada pension. I get my old age pension. Again, it's another Canada pension. I get a little supplement with that because of my income. And I do have a small, I get a monthly stipend from a pension from work. And so I do well. I do okay. I don't go hungry. I don't go to food banks or anything like that. Able to go on one or two small vacations. Used to be down in the United States, but not while that president of yours is there. I'll have to wait if I live that long. Anyway, I pay nothing for my medications. Ozempic, glycoside, medication for anxiety, medication for high blood pressure, medication for cholesterol. Okay? Nothing. I go to a doctor for a visit, costs me nothing. Okay? Well qualified doctor, young, smart, intelligent. Okay? When you go to a hospital, costs you nothing for the bed. Nurses treat you like you're gold. It's like you're in a hotel. They, you just, it's a good life. Okay? Don't listen to the bullshit that your politicians are throwing at you. It's crap, the stuff they say about Canada and how you don't need us. Well, you know what? Nobody needs anybody, really, when you think about it, right? I don't have, I was married for 32 years. I'm divorced now, like a lot of people. I don't have any regrets about that. I'm very happy living by myself in my little one-bedroom apartment with my little income and all my little gadgets that I've collected over the years. And, I'm relatively healthy. I think I look pretty good for 67. By the way, I'm not looking for a woman. All right. Been through that. Dating, online dating. Danger, danger, Will Robinson. Anyway, I lost my train of thought. See, 67 years old. What are you going to do, right? But anyway, for the most part, yeah, nothing of what I say is going to be really structured in any of these videos. I'm giving you my point of view from the perspective of a senior, a single divorced senior who lives in Canada, loves Canada, loves, you have no idea how fun it is for a guy like me who enjoys diversity to go to a city like, say, like Montreal and sit in a cafe on a street corner in downtown Montreal and listen to the accents, the languages that are spoken, the smell of the food from Chinatown, from Little Italy, from, and to look at the beautiful French women. I was married to a French woman for 32 years. So anyway, got a thing for French girls. and know that and feel comfortable. I don't look behind me, even in the biggest cities in Canada. Okay. And I've been to all of them except I've never been to British Columbia, but I've been to every other province. I haven't been to the Northwest Territories or the other territories, but I've lived in Calgary and, you know, many places in Ontario and been to New York City. Actually slept in Central Park for 3 nights in a row. That's a story I'll tell you some other time, but you know, I've been around. I've been around. And, you know, so I've got a little life experience. As I mentioned in a other video, that I'm not well educated. I just have I think, a good common sense way of looking at the world. I grew up poor. I appreciate what I have. I appreciate people. I appreciate their opinion. I don't, I don't always agree. As a matter of fact, I can be a bit of an asshole when it comes to what I think is right. But the way I look at it is, if you're an asshole, that's fine. Be an asshole, but be fair to the people who think you're an asshole. You know, just because you think the way other people do things is stupid, which for the most part, that's me. You know, um, I'm smart enough to know that they're looking at me through their eyes and they see someone who they think is stupid. You understand how that works? If you understand that and you agree with that, that's kind of normal. Again, I'm not a politician. I don't have the skill set to, you know, quietly have someone shit on me. I can't do that. I'm like Michael J. Fox in the movie Back to the Future, where his character, somebody challenges him and he just can't back down from a challenge. Well, you get in my face, you're going to find out. That's all I can tell you. Anyway, like I said, ordinary guy, normal guy, temper sometimes. But if I like you, you'll feel showered with affection and respect. If I don't like you, I'll tell you. You won't have to, you'll never have to guess. I'm just trying to let you know what kind of person I am so you know where I'm coming from. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with that, and I'll continue to post these videos of my opinion as an ordinary, just an ordinary old guy from Canada, trying to understand this world and these nightmarish, ridiculous, hypocritical, staged things that your politicians are saying. I know why they're doing it. And I know where it comes from, the top down, Trump down. And I don't want to come right out and say that I think he is using the same game plan that a certain German fellow used to coerce his population. Those same very self-conscious people, insecure people. Anyway, we'll talk about that some more, maybe some other time. All right. As always, if you disagree with what I'm saying, if you agree with what I'm saying, if you have opinions about what I'm saying, if you want to call me a dickhead, I don't care. Put it in the comment section, okay? Down below. Like, dislike, subscribe, don't subscribe. You know, it's totally up to you. I'm not going to beg you for anything. I'm not doing this for money. Hey, who knows? Maybe I'll become super famous and I'll have like 20 million or so YouTubers, and I can start selling products like, you know. Anyway, that's enough for today. So I'll leave you with what I always leave you with. This, how's it go? Our beaver is not up for grabs. I laugh when I say that, but I'm being very serious. Don't be grabbing my beaver or anyone else's beaver. Okay? It's not polite. Anyway, I love you. I do. I really do. I know I hear YouTubers all the time saying that, but I know that people are going to listen to this, and I want you to know I do. If you were in my area, if I invited you up here, which I'm not going to, but if I did, if I liked you, you would come here and you would be treated like a king. That's how we do it down here in Eastern Canada. It's how you guys do it in the Eastern United States. Mainers, people from Vermont, New Hampshire, you know, I'll tell you a story about how my ancestors landed in Salem, Massachusetts in 1638. The guy's name, first one to come across, his name was Robert Wheaton. Wheaton. Look him up. He's my relative. I've done the research and did a genealogical, whatever, blood test thingy, sent it to California. Anyway, I'm related to him. So my family's been in North America for a long time. Robert came from either Devon, England, or Wales. It's not exactly sure, but you can look him up, Americans. I really want you to look him up, the American people out there. Look it up. Do a Google search on Robert Wheaton's 1638 Salem. Okay? I'll tell you the rest of my life story some other time. All right. Take care now. And again, here's a big hug for you. Okay? Don't be angry. I love you all. I really do. Take care.